March 28, 1990, was the date of another of Michael Jordan's greatest games. The date for this matchup with the Cavaliers had no particular significance to Michael. But as for the place...
For some reason, Cleveland's always been a place where I always have risen to excel. Mainly because the fans truly don't like me there, but I have total confidence when I walk into Cleveland's building.
And that confidence was fully in evidence that night, as was every facet of his game.
Jordan works his way around the top of the key, left of the lane, inside, up with the left-hander, scores. He's at it again.
Michael Jordan feels it, and it's going to be awfully tough to slow him down right now. Boom.
As the game progressed, it was becoming clear to everyone in attendance that a special performance, special even from Michael Jordan, was unfolding.
Jordan is averaging 44 a game against Cleveland this year, had 54 in the opener, and a good chance to go beyond that. Go to the rebound brought down by Jordan. Jordan ahead of the pack. This will be good. And he is bearing down on the Coliseum single-game scoring record.
Can't handle it.
We're going to see a new single-game scoring record at the Coliseum tonight, unless Jordan is run over by a bus very shortly. Somehow you knew, sooner or later, Michael Jordan was going to set the mark.
As it turned out, Michael Jordan was on pace to break not only the Cleveland Coliseum single-game scoring record, but also his own.
4 on the shot clock. Paxson's got trouble. They get it to Jordan. He goes for the three. He gets the three. Oh, my. Michael Jordan has 54 points.
That's what he totaled in the Bulls' first game with the Cavs that season. But he soon left that milestone far behind.
Jordan around a Cartwright pick on the right wing, his jumper beauty. 60 points for Michael Jordan.
He can make it look easy, but when you sit and think about it, he made so many difficult shots.
Jordan from 13. Jordan has 63, matching his career high.
Jordan sealed the win and reached a new career high.
Turn out the lights. That's 69 for Jordan.
Cleveland is absolutely shell-shocked right now. They can't believe that Michael Jordan can continue to do this to him.
You know, it's one of those once-in-a-lifetime games. When you think of 69, it's an awful lot of points. When he sensed that an opponent was down, he never let up.
Boston Garden was home to many great Celtic championship teams, but the 1985-86 Celtics, led by three-time MVP Larry Bird, were truly something special. They posted a franchise-best 67-15 record that season, which earned them a meeting with Michael Jordan and the Bulls in the first round of the playoffs. Coming off a foot injury in only his second year in the NBA, Jordan was faced with an interesting problem.
The question is, can one man beat the Lakers, or do you need a more diversified attack today?
Well, we're playing the Boston Celtics, Pat, but I think it's going to be more of a five-man game, and we really have to play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
It's hard to imagine that 6 weeks ago you were sitting on the bench.
Yes, it is. It's very hard for me to imagine. I'm very happy I'm playing now, and I'm very happy that I can contribute to the team.
All right, thank you. Good luck today. You don't have to remind me again that you are playing the Boston Celtics. Air Jordan's getting ready to take off. The problem is the runway is in Boston.
When Michael would get in those zones, he'd want the ball more than anything else. Everyone else would want him to have the ball.
His teammates took note of his focus in the locker room before the game and sensed he was intent on doing something big, maybe even the impossible, defeating the mighty Celtics in Boston Garden all by himself.
Going baseline. Michael Jordan, the basket good and a foul. Fantastic quickness going to the baseline. That was a pickpocket move if there ever was one.
But Larry Bird's Celtics presented an imposing obstacle indeed. United by Bird's vision, they were the consummate passing team. Bill Walton had joined the Celtics that year and blended flawlessly with their chemistry in his role as sixth man.
Bird from Walton.
On the other hand, the Celtics fans had never really seen an individual talent like Michael Jordan. And on April 20th, 1986, he was the center of their attention, even as the Celtics center, Robert Parrish, scored for their team.
Parrish gets free.
And so the battle waged, with Jordan evoking hushed cries of anguish, mixed with amazement from the savvy fans, while the Celtics' gritty play inspired their cheers.
Who wants it? McHale! He was
the tempo away from the Celtics, trying to Michael Jordan right now.
What a great shot, and a basket and a foul. You talk about Bird's sheer determination at certain points of a game. Michael Jordan has those same qualities.
The Celtics could only shake their heads as they found themselves unable to shake the Jordan-led Bulls.
Jordan banks it in, and Jordan with 40 points.
He was in that zone of everything was going. He was making one shot better than the next.
Unintimidated even by Larry Legend, Jordan let it all hang out, displaying much more than mere hang time. He revealed a complete all-around game as Game 2 of this first-round series emerged as a classic in the making, with Jordan performing his unparalleled moves to the basket and Boston responding in tried-and-true Celtics fashion.
Haynes to McHale. Clock running down, 3 seconds, three-point shot, no good. And a foul, late Swait. A foul against Kevin McHale has been called by Middleton, with no time showing on the clock. Kevin McHale can't believe it.
In one of the first tests under pressure of his career, Michael Jordan showed all the poise of a veteran as he calmly stepped to the line and sank crucial free throws.
He can tie it up here and send the game in overtime. No time remaining. And this is pressure. Overtime in Game 2 of our best-of-5 first-round NBA playoff. And the Chicago Bulls are trying to do what only the Portland Trail Blazers have done so far this year, beat the Celtics in Boston. Long range, Jordan hits it, 56 for Jordan. And that ties the Chicago Bulls all-time leader, Bob Love. Jordan goes up with a shot and hits it, and has 61 points to tie Elgin Baylor's all-time single-game playoff record that he established against these Celtics. Jordan ties the game.
Oh, boy.
63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record.
Oh, boy.
Michael Jordan.
After that, it took him from a star to a superstar to eventually the biggest superstar in basketball history.
In the end, the Celtics prevailed, and they would go on to win the series in 3 games. But from that day forward, the history of Boston Garden would include not only the many championships of Celtic teams past, but also the remarkable playoff performance of a young Chicago Bull named Michael Jordan. Chicago opened the 1989 playoffs against Cleveland, but the underdog Bulls had little reason for confidence.
We had struggled toward the end of that season, and our expectations going into the playoffs weren't very high.
And those doubts appeared justified, as Cleveland, with one of the league's best records, asserted their dominance.
Lobs inside, stolen from Jordan by Harper. Harper comes into the forecourt, drives the lane, wham with the right hand.
But the Cavs had one obstacle standing in their path, Michael Jordan. An obstacle that seemed to grow larger with every game, as Jordan was carving up the Cleveland defense.
2 minutes to go. The Cavs have a foul to give. Jordan on the drive, and the big basket. He'll go to the line for a three-point play.
The Bulls had extended the series to a 5th and deciding game, but as the scene shifted back to Cleveland, it appeared their hopes of an upset would finally be snuffed out. The Cavs came out firing as they tried to put Chicago away for good.
Harper on the left, backing it on Pippen, comes around the Doherty pick to the line, to the lane, to the basket. Good!
Facing a frenzied crowd and an inspired Cavs team, Jordan and the Bulls saw their season slipping away. But Michael took it upon himself to lead them back, almost single-handedly keeping his team in the game.
Jordan against the Cavs in the second half.
As the game entered its crucial stretch, Doug Collins watched his young superstar continue to dominate. Jordan was relentless, and it seemed there was little Cleveland could do to stop him.
Jordan at the top of the key, to the line, to the lane, throws it up, good off the glass. And
Michael Jordan with 35, and Lenny Wilkins, Cavaliers, who have led most of the way, now trail.
Jordan had given Chicago the lead and the momentum, but it was clear that the Cavaliers weren't about to fold.
Harper to the line, Harper to the lane, out of the left three. Got it! The Cavs lead 98-97.
Game 5 was coming down to the final seconds. There appeared to be little question as to who would get the ball for Chicago.
11 seconds to go. In the middle of the floor, Jordan has it. And Jordan puts up a jumper and hits with 6 seconds to go.
The game had developed into a seesaw battle, with 6 lead changes in the final 3 minutes. And now it was Cleveland's turn to respond, as they tried finally to deliver the knockout blow.
6 seconds left. Elo looks. Elo into Nance. Back to Elo. He drives. He scores! Elo drove it right down the wing and scores! 199 with 3 seconds to play.
Right at the end, Cleveland kind of looked at us on the bench like, okay, you guys are done.
The Cavs were just 3 seconds away from eliminating the upstart Bulls and advancing to the next round. But those 3 seconds would have an impact for years to come. It would be a defining moment, not only for Jordan, but for the Chicago and Cleveland franchises. And it all came down to one shot.
The inbounds pass comes into Jordan. Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win! They win!
It's funny how when your backs are a little bit to the wall, that all comes down to 5-game series. In that case, comes down to the last second shot and how much it elevated our morale as a team.
When Michael was able to hit this miraculous shot with Craig Elo all over him, that was big. That was really big. That really propelled us to another level.
When he hit that shot, I mean, he's jumped high many times, but he jumped higher. And in fairness, Doug Collins went roaring by out on the floor and hugged him. And I swear he put a dagger in the Cleveland franchise, not just in that team, but that team never could find a way to beat Michael Jordan.
The Phoenix Suns came to Chicago down 2 games to none in the 1993 NBA Finals. Everyone in the Windy City, and in the basketball world for that matter, was thinking sweep for the Bulls in their quest for a three-peat. But the Suns were a proud group of crafty veterans.
Here's Jordan. Defensive foul.
The triple overtime duel was a grueling affair that tested the wills of both teams, and in the end, it came down to a lapse in concentration.
Off the Chambers, baseline jumper, off the rim, no good. Chambers missed a wide open shot, and Stacey King threw it right to Barkley, who lays it in. Oh, that might be the backbreaker. In a remarkable come-from-behind victory, the Phoenix Suns in triple overtime have defeated the Chicago Bulls to battle their way back into this series.
All of the Suns then focused on Game 4. Well, almost all.
It's a big game. Everybody would love to be out
Michael
there.
Jordan shot the ball 43 times.
Damn.
That's unbelievable. He gonna be icing his elbow too.
Michael Jordan arrived for Game 4 fully aware that he had a competitive series on his hands. The Phoenix Suns had opened the door to a possible upset, and they were a loose and confident team at game time.
There's a feeling that the battle has been joined, that the Phoenix Suns are here as foes, not foils, that they did more than restore their pride on Sunday, that they made it a series again, and now it's the Bulls' turn to respond to a challenge.
Michael Jordan responded to the challenge by rising above the Suns, but mostly by penetrating through them on slashing drives to the goal.
In-hand drive, finger roll is good again.
Michael just giving a clinic of getting to the hoop. Now to Jordan, quickly by Taylor, Marley, and he slammed it home. Michael Jordan now looks like he is going to drive every time he gets his hand on a ball until they stop him. Either don't foul him or foul him. Come on, hard.
The Suns' play reflected their coach's intensity. Led by Michael's close friend Charles Barkley, they stayed within arm's reach of the Bulls.
Barkley with the steal. Well, Charles had that diagnosed. Charles showing Michael that he wants to play in this game as well.
Oh yeah, he's just letting them know that he's here to try to win a championship.
Woo-hoo! Yeah, Chuck.
A timeout taken. by Phil Jackson, who doesn't like what he's watching right now.
Come on, let's go, baby. We got to get the momentum back. We need someone to step up and score.
If there was a situation where it was Michael against Charles, I think Charles maybe thought that, but Michael was thinking, okay, I'm going to take on your whole team, and you guys stop me.
And a game of Can You Top This was on.
What a play by Michael.
29 for Jordan.
Nice drop step spin move by Barkley. Barkley lays it in.
But Jordan returned again and again to his original game plan: attack the basket.
Jordan will drive again to the hoop. Score it. Count it. He'll have another try and a three-point play.
Crossover move for Jordan and finishes with the finger roll. Plus the foul.
He just looks like he might be unstoppable.
41 for Jordan.
With daring moves that had him darting between and around the Suns, Jordan's one-man game had the crowd on its feet. But Phoenix countered with a total team effort that kept the Suns in the game.
Despite the exploits of Jordan, the Suns are only 4 down. Michael Jordan, very confident with 50 of the ball, 100 points.
KJ right side. Chicago by 4. Here's Barkley underneath. He'll jam it. It's a two-point game as the Suns battle back.
This Phoenix team has not quit all game long.
Both teams huddled together as Game 4 reached its critical stage. Phoenix had possession with a chance to tie or take the lead with a three-pointer.
Here it goes to KJ, who fumbles the ball, and BJ steals it away.
The Suns attempted to stop the Bulls rather than foul on Chicago's final possession. The Bulls took some time off the clock by working the ball around, and then they put it in the capable hands of Michael Jordan.
10 seconds to go on the shot clock. 15 in the ball game. Michael will take it. He's fouled. He scored. He threw it up. Off balance and went in. Oh, my. Michael with his fist clenched near midcourt.
I tell you, he's just simply amazing. He does whatever he has to do to beat you.
The Bulls go 3 games to 1 up on the Phoenix Suns. Michael Jordan with 55 points.
You can't say enough about Michael's effort. He just doesn't want to lose. He was attacking the basket. He just kept going at the basket, going at the basket. He was unbelievable. He was unreal.
He played like Michael.
I think every big game you try to play your best basketball. And I think this is a very important game, and yeah, I consider it one of my greatest games, but I've yet to see the greatest game.
Good evening, basketball fans, wherever you may be. Welcome to the NBA Finals.
Portland and Chicago. It was almost inevitable. They were the favorites in November, and now they meet in June.
We're all ready for this game, and the noise level here at the stadium will soon be earth-shattering.
It will be the great Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls going against Clyde Drexler and the rest of the Portland Trailblazers. Everybody wanted this series. Now it's here. It's a match made in heaven.
What time is it?
You have any questions at all? Just play the game. We'll referee. Have a good game, guys. Have a good series.
In this corner, Michael Jordan, and across from him, Clyde Drexler.
Playing against Drexler. He always wanted the shootout.
The stage was set for the 1992 NBA Finals, and as Game 1 got underway, it looked as if it was Drexler's Trailblazers who were better prepared to seize the moment. The explosive quintet from the Northwest came out of the gate on fire.
So Portland beginning to fly all over the court. Here comes Drexler. Yes, and it counts. 21-15, Portland. Porter with the open shot. And the Blazers have hit their first 7 field goal attempts.
You haven't got his rhythm yet. You gotta keep pushing, find your rhythm.
What was to unfold from that point on was one of Michael Jordan's greatest games, and it would qualify as such before the first half was through.
Jordan with the steal, eluding Ainge, goes to the fadeaway, to the foul, it counts. Jordan eluding Robinson. Yes!
Come on, let's go now. Come on, we need a spurt here. We got to defend them. Let's go. We got to get back and defend them. We got to get good shots out here.
Did Clyde Drexler feel the momentum shift? If so, it was barely perceptible as the second quarter began. The Bulls had taken only a 3-point lead, but Michael Jordan had begun to feel the offensive rhythm his coach had sought, and Drexler was determined to throw it off.
Lost the dribble off his foot. 3-on-2 for the Blazers. Drexler all the way.
Jordan was unconcerned. He had found his rhythm and his touch. But what would transpire over the next 10 minutes of play was noteworthy not only for the accuracy of Jordan's shots, but also for their range. Three-pointers had never been the hallmark of his game, but the opportunities were there, and he seized them.
Jordan for three! There's Pippen, setting up Jordan, wide open for another three!
He said to Phil, do you see what's happening? And he said, yeah. We couldn't believe it.
Boy, when you're hot, and when you're not, you're not. And that young fella is hot.
I remember being on the floor during that half and a couple times catching the ball well beyond the three-point line and looking to the weak side and seeing Michael there and just throwing it to him, and it was, it just was an instinct. You just tell you knew they were going in that night.
Pippen, 2 men to beat, drives to the basket. Follow Michael Jordan! Jordan, with his magic carpet, threw it down. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. The crowd is in a frenzy here.
It was a night that was memorable. I mean, not just because he made the threes, but because he kept taking, and the opportunity for him to kind of try to finish Portland off early in the game, which is something that Michael loved.
3-pointers from Jordan. What in the world is going on? Jordan fired another three. Oh no! I don't believe it.
That is an NBA Finals record. 5 3-pointers in a half. Here's Jordan for three. Yes! Did you see that look?
I remember looking over to the NBC table after he'd made maybe his 5th or 6th in the first half and kind of shrugging his shoulders. Because even Michael, as great as he was, knew that was something special.
Michael indicating he can't believe it.
He feels it. There's nothing else he can say other than the man feels it and lets us know.
This is the greatest performance maybe ever in the single half, playoff, or in the history of this league.
The rest, as they say, is history. The Chicago Bulls went on to defeat the Trailblazers handily in Game 1, and then went on to win the 1992 NBA championship. And on the way, the legend of Michael Jordan grew. It now was measurable by distance as well as by hang time. He had long defied gravity. In this game, he showed he could defy logic as well.
What a start for the defending world champions of the NBA.
I started running for that three-point line. I felt a great rhythm. It felt like a free throw, really, from that distance.
The only thing you could just sit back and say, and wow, and ooh, just like a little kid out there, everything he threw up, he hit.
He was hot, and we all knew it. He knew it, and he just was going to go out there. I don't think he was going to miss from 2, from 3, or from half court range. He just had that feeling.
And so, after a series that brought us one of Michael Jordan's greatest games, he and the Bulls celebrated their 2nd NBA championship. It was a scene that would be repeated 4 more times in the years ahead. The mountains of Salt Lake City, Utah, framed the setting as Michael Jordan stepped on the floor in a Bulls uniform for the last time in Game 6 of the 1998 NBA Finals, striving once again to reach basketball's mountaintop.
In Michael's mind, he knew when that series began it was going to be his final dance as an NBA player.
The Jazz respected Jordan, and they had earned his respect by taking 2 games in the finals. In the early going of Game 6, an awkward play improved Utah's chances to even the series.
Bob, I think Scottie Pippen pulled his back out on that dunk shot.
There's an obvious truth. Pippen's back is bothering him.
Pippen walked gingerly to the locker room. The Jazz took advantage and the early lead.
Up top to Karl Malone, fake right, try to go left, cannot. Comes back right side, strong move. Deep in lane, put it up, good! Count it, he's fouled! The ball there, delivers!
They roar their approval at the Delta Center.
Michael Jordan found himself in familiar territory with a challenge before him.
Michael Jordan is going to have to carry the load.
He was at the end of his career, but at the top of his game.
They go to Jordan, low left, here we go. Follow-away, base left, shot good! Down to the angle left, they go to Jordan. Michael, one bounce, fire away. Score another one, a man possessed. Michael feels right now he can make every shot he takes.
Jazz coach Jerry Sloan summoned his reserves, but it was Jordan who found an endless supply of strength.
Michael Jordan sticks his third three-pointer of the half.
Veterans John Stockton and Karl Malone talked it over, and then demonstrated their uncanny knack for unspoken communication on the court.
Strong Karl Malone. Karl Malone carrying the load once again for the Utah Jazz.
The second half began with an exchange of smiles by a couple of superstars, who then exchanged blows on the floor as the game's momentum shifted with nearly every shot.
Stockton now to Karl, twist up, underhand scoop. What a shot by Karl Malone. 29 for Karl Malone. Michael Jordan down low right. Down to you, backcourt, Jordan there. Jordan with 33 points.
Left side for Chicago. Jordan with it now. He's got it.
Michael's in the zone.
In his last NBA Finals, Michael Jordan was focused on winning his 6th championship with the Bulls. But a hunger also burned deep within the Jazz, who were determined to win their first NBA title.
Now back to the mailman. Karl base left. 12-footer. The mailman delivers.
In the final minute, the Malone-Stockton connection struck again.
Malone picks it up. Cross-court pass. Stockton with a three on the way. Good! John Stockton with a cold-blooded three. And Utah takes the lead.
He had already accomplished so much in his career, and this was only Game 6, after all, before a hostile crowd. Would Michael Jordan save his strength for a 7th game at home? The answer, as history will record, was no.
Out front to the man, Michael Jordan. Jordan up top, fake left, go right. He's there, lay it up, score it easily. Wow. Stockton inside of Karl Malone, they double it. Jordan knocks it away from him. Jordan's got it. The Bulls can win it right here. The Bulls can win it. Unbelievable.
16 seconds left. Bulls down 1. Michael against Russell. 12 seconds. 11. 10. Jordan a drive. Hangs. Fires. Yes! Scores! He scores! The Bulls lead 87-86 with 5 2/10 left. And now they're one stop away. Oh my goodness.
Russell comes into Stockton. Stockton 4 seconds. Stockton a three up out front. Rimming. No. Ball tipped away. Chicago is world champions once more. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship in the last 8 years.
The more time that passes, the more I look back at that last second shot at Utah in Game 6 that ended that series. It's just total fairy tale. It just had to end that way. Utah, last second, hold the pose. I just couldn't make it up. If I did it for Hollywood, they would just laugh at it because it's just too neat, too perfect a way to end it.
To the Chicago Bulls, the 1998 NBA champion, and a team for the ages. Congratulations.
In 1995, Jordan's comeback became the season's marquee attraction in New York as the Bulls paid a visit to the Knicks.
It's the magical, mystical Jordan Road Tour, 1995.
I didn't want to come in with the intensity so high that I couldn't meet it. because I've been away from the game for 18 months.
Michael comes back to New York City. He loves playing in this gym.
And as he made his return to the Garden, Michael found a familiar foe was waiting for him.
Prior to his premature retirement, nobody guarded Michael Jordan straight up better than John Starks.
Now Starks would have another chance to display his defense against Jordan. But it was clear from the beginning that on this night, there would be no stopping Michael.
Michael Jordan has the jump shot falling here tonight.
That first quarter, I knew we had something going. When I started hitting all the jump shots, and I could read Starks' every move. You know, I basically had him at my disposal in a sense.
They're going to keep going to the well with Jordan and Starks. My, oh my. It was like Starks wasn't even there.
And he continued his onslaught from just about everywhere on the court.
Jordan off the turnover. Puts the move on Starks. Yes, and it counts. Michael Jordan with his most spectacular basket of the half.
In just the fifth game of his comeback, he was already looking like the Jordan of old.
So I came in with some low expectations, and next thing you know, they grew to be huge expectations.
And here's the post-up by Jordan. Off the spin!
Could he have made that look any easier? And did you ask, is he back? Oh, come on!
Michael was clearly enjoying his command performance on Broadway, but his arch rivals were intent on stealing the show. Starks and the Knicks, rising to the occasion, kept the game close in the second half. But as it turned out, Jordan had been just getting started. Down the stretch, he elevated his play even higher, making one shot after another.
Michael Jordan with 49 points as this third quarter winds down. And Michael Jordan with 51 points.
That's the record of the most points scored against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden.
53 points from Michael Jordan.
Jordan working on Starks. Got him in the air. Michael Jordan has 55. He had to work for them.
With the score tied in the final seconds, the Knicks had no doubts as to who would get the call for Chicago. Jordan had 55 points already, and New York crafted their strategy to stop him on the final play. But Michael had always possessed a keen sense of drama, and in this, his return to center stage, he gave the audience a surprise ending.
Michael finds the open man. Wellington with a jam. 3.1 remaining. Time out, New York. That was outstanding.
But even Jordan had to admit that the game's finish was not exactly what he had had in mind.
You know, I'd be lying if I said I came out to pass the ball. You know, I came out here to score, and I was going to make them stop me.
There are some players that are simply unique and transcend every aspect of the game, and he's the only one in the history of this game that's had the impact that he's had. He got it started the other night against Atlanta, and he just sort of building up to New York.
Jordan would face one of his greatest challenges in the 1997 finals. With the series against Utah tied at 2 games apiece, Michael had more to overcome than just the Jazz.
Now the big story here tonight concerning Michael Jordan's physical conditions. He is suffering from flu-like symptoms. His status is uncertain.
The bad news for the Bulls, the stomach virus that has hit Michael Jordan, and you wonder just how much, how long, and how hard he'll be able to go.
In his weakened condition, Jordan was up against league MVP Karl Malone, the confident Jazz, and the raucous crowd in Utah.
I don't know if Michael can carry the Bulls on the road against the Jazz.
And on this night, it seemed that carrying the Bulls would be too heavy a load, as Michael's illness had clearly taken a toll. Meanwhile, Utah was only growing stronger. Having won games 3 and 4, the Jazz continued their surge. Exploding out of the gate, they raced to a 16-point lead in the second quarter.
Stockton looking. Whipped inside, Malone goes up, counts, and a foul.
Everything clicking right now for Utah.
In this pivotal contest, all signs were pointing to a Utah victory that would put them in command of the series. But while Jordan was still drained, he was finding the strength to persevere, and through sheer determination, he would keep Chicago in the game.
MJ against Russell to the free throw line. Hangs in the air, jumper good.
Oh, shot.
Nothing but net for Michael.
Bad pass, lost the handle. Here's Jordan, comes down on Hornacek, goes to the glass. Driving layup for Michael.
Throughout his career, Michael Jordan had delivered many brilliant performances, but he had never been more courageous than in this crucial game. Though his stomach was ravaged by flu, he was displaying enormous heart as he continued to lead the Bulls' comeback.
A heroic performance by Michael Jordan.
But battling his illness and the Jazz proved to be an exhausting task for Jordan, and each time he faltered, Utah was ready to take full advantage.
Russell's open on Bushler. Slam! Oh! A big-time slam. Utah will take a lead in intermission.
But while the Bulls still trailed, Jordan would grow even more determined in the second half.
Really, in between every possession, when there was a dead ball, you could just see it on his face how drained he was. But then when the play would start, he'd summon something from within.
Here's Jordan. Jordan looks in over Russell. Faces the basket. Keeps it. 7 on the shot. Over the top of him. Yes! Michael Jordan continues to blaze away, illness or not.
What a play by Michael Jordan.
For all of Michael's heroics, Chicago was still facing an uphill battle as the Jazz seemed to have an answer for every Bull run.
Bad pass, knocked away, but Malone runs it down with a good hustle. Anderson baseline, a slam.
But each time Utah threatened to pull away, the ailing Jordan would rise to the challenge, and throughout the second half, he kept the Bulls within striking distance.
Shot clock at 7. Jordan shooting. Yes.
Michael just laboring to get back to that defensive end, just trying to get to the finish line.
Still, Karl Malone was carrying the Jazz down the stretch, and the question remained, would Michael have enough strength to lift Chicago to victory?
Sweat just pouring off Michael Jordan. No time to rest now. Here is Jordan outside. Chicago down 3. Puts it down, drives the lane, a running 8-footer. Yes!
Jordan had become an inspiration to his teammates, and his remarkable effort had led the Bulls all the way back. They had finally pulled even with the Jazz as Game 5 entered its waning minutes. Control of the game and the series was now up for grabs, and it appeared that Utah was ready to seize the opportunity.
Loose ball, picked up by Hornacek, no whistle, shot clock 2, Stockton, 3 for the lead! Another huge 3 by Stockton!
With little left to draw upon but his will, Michael would try to make one final push. The score was tied with less than a minute left to play, and Jordan was the focus of attention. Could he deliver yet again?
And all eyes here are going to be on Michael Jordan. On top, Pippen wants it, wants to go on Hornacek, demanded the ball, back Michael, open 3, yes! They lead it, 38 points for the Kings!
Stuck a dagger at him with a 3, yes!
A courageous, classic performance by the flu-ridden Michael Jordan.
Propelled by their victory, the Bulls would go on to win the championship in Game 6, and Michael Jordan had added perhaps the most amazing chapter to his playoff legend.
It's all about desire. You just got to come out here and do what you got to do. We wanted it real bad, you know, and me as a leader, I had to come out and do my best. Somehow I found the energy. Just stay strong. I wanted it really bad.
The effort that he gave us today was unbelievable, you know. As his teammates, you know, we should have stepped up and played much better basketball, but we really appreciate the way that he steps up and shows his leadership for our ball club.
There's something inside of him that allowed him to compete when he probably shouldn't have. That was a game that a lot of guys would have probably just bailed on it. And he was just able to rise above how he felt and accept what he had to do, and he did it.
I didn't want to give up. You know, no matter how sick I was, how tired I was, how low on energy I was, I felt the obligation, you know, to my team, to the city of Chicago, to go out
give that extra effort.